Happy Monday, guys. Thank you for joining me. So today I am super stoked because we're talking about like the most uplifting subject that there could be. We're going to talk about praise today. So it's a subject that I think we can have a lot of fun with. It's one that we all do naturally all the time. Some of the other subjects have been a little bit more heady and required us to really stop and retrain the way our brains have worked naturally and previously and required a lot of effort. But this is something that comes really naturally to all of us, and it's more of an area where we can enhance what we already do. So I'm really happy to share this week's topic of praise. So right away, I think what I love most about the way we're going to change the way we praise is it allows the person to praise, who's doing the praising, to really highlight exactly what they're grateful for. So it's this two-way return where the person getting praised feels like their very specific achievements and accomplishments are being noticed. And then for the person doing the praising, it allows us to really see what brings us happiness and lets us notice the little things that are noteworthy and we're grateful for. So with that being said, the first way that we are going to enhance the way we praise is, rather than just saying, fantastic, good job, well done, that looks great, this picture's beautiful, your room is fantastic, we're going to describe what we see. So if your participant brings you a picture, normally you would say, wow, that's so beautiful, well done, what a great artist you are. And while that's super encouraging, it's definitely, not the most creative, and I'm sure that's been said before. And what that can do, imagine if you had a guest over and they last minute showed up at your door and you were scrambling around because you wanted to make them dinner. And you didn't have anything in the house. You hadn't gone grocery shopping, but you had a can of Campbell's chicken and dumpling soup, and you had some minute rice, and you threw the can of soup in the microwave, threw the rice in the microwave, threw the rice down on a bowl, put the soup on top, and served them the dinner. And imagine if your guest said, wow, this is delicious, you're such a good cook. So two things could be happening here. One, your guest, out of politeness, is lying. We call that, a white lie. Or they just have the worst palate and have no idea what good food is. But ultimately, neither one of them are very complimentary or evoke much encouragement to continue. Now, they might not disappoint and they might not do any harm, but they definitely do not provoke further motivation. So instead, take that same situation and your guest said, wow, your ability, or thank you, you're so hospitable to always have something to offer me. This was such a quick, convenient, and fulfilling meal. Thanks for being such a great host. Then your actual acts, what was the accomplishment there, was noticed. And that feels good. So as we try to replicate that model, one of the main ingredients to do so is to describe exactly what you, as the praiser, see. So your participant brings you a painting, and there's pink and purple swirls all around, and there's maybe some green crayon slashes and a wiggle here and a dot dot there. Here's a Dale, here's a dot, everywhere's a dot dot. Oh, your participant has a drawing. Wee ha ho. What you can do is say just that. And if you want to turn it into a song, you can do. Just say, wow, I see you made a wiggle here, and you gave a dot here, and a dot here, and there's a wiggle wiggle here. So hard not to bust out in song. And they might say, yeah, I did, with this surprise that you noticed. I know my personal experience of this was working with my participant Zane at his house. And he has taken a fascination to this comedian, Ali Wong, on Netflix. I'm not actually aware that he has watched Ali Wong, but his fixation is on the Netflix, the trailers, and when you're watching Netflix and you see just like the little postcard that they use to show what episode it is, what movie it is, each picture for the episode is different. And it is artistically done in the sense that there's a different colored background. There might be like a ombre of different colored silhouettes. Sometimes Ali Wong is pictured with boxing gloves. Sometimes she has tigers lounging on a sofa behind her. So I don't quite understand why Zen is fascinated by these posters. However, I don't have to, because he finds so much excitement out of it, and he has found so much joy in collecting these pictures. So what he does is he takes screenshots of the Netflix, little screen, and then he crops the picture, and then he saves them to his phone. So the first time that Zane very excitedly showed this to me, I commented, "Wow, what a great way you've collected, what a great collection you have here. I can see you've put a lot into work into trimming so precisely around the edges of each photo, and like you never miss. Every time there's a new photo, you grab every single one of them. That takes so much persistence and dedication." And that last part that I added there, that takes so much persistence and dedication. That is the third step in giving praise. So one was describing what you saw. That would be me saying, "Wow, I really noticed how you cropped the picture so carefully, and you made sure to only bring the photo just to the edge, and not cut off any part of the actual picture." And then the third step, and I'm skipping, but we'll get back to that in a second. You can do these in any order, is providing a word describing it. So by me saying that shows a lot of persistence and dedication, that you never miss a photo, or you've gathered all of the pictures, every season you have a photo for this. So the third step is just bringing a word to it. So another example of this, imagine that your participant we'll go back to the wiggle wiggle dot dot, right? So you describe that and they're really excited. You could say, "Wow, you're so creative," or "It shows your inventiveness," and just providing a word. And again, I love all of these interlaced opportunities we have in reworking some of our common everyday practices. Is one, like, what a cool way to expand vocabulary and teach right? We're informing, we're associating that actions have words. I know oftentimes, again with Zane, I'll say, wow, how you must feel so accomplished when he talks about working out. Right now, he has associated that feeling of like accomplishment. Wow, I did it. You know, I persevered. Something was hard, and I kept striving, because again, we have to keep in mind that words are a bit. It's like, if any of you have seen Shrek, and I think it's the first Shrek, when Donkey and Shrek are running from the castle where the dragon is, and they're running on the bridge, and one of the like wooden bridge rungs falls out, and Donkey falls, and it's this big dramatic scene. That gap, like it's like a wronged bridge. There is a little bit of a gap, and that gap is the ability to associate the feelings with a word. Many of our participants, and shoots, I do it too. I don't. This is a collective, but just keeping in mind that that's where we can best gift something, is by giving them a word for the internal experience, because that's meeting this internal experience to the exterior. That's empowering them to communicate, to give them the ability to connect. And that is so huge, because that's the juice of this life, is that connection. So go back. The first method with praise is just to describe what you see. Walking in after somebody has mopped the floor, right? We're doing these campus contributions. That'll be an opportunity for a lot of praise there, because praise is how we encourage to inspire repetition of that behavior by praising. So as we come back, and some participants are starting to come back in, as mentors, we're going to be coming back in, showing up physically. Wow, no orange papayas are left on the branches. I only see ripe papayas in this basket. That is pure neutral fact. And with that space of factual evidence, what we are doing is we're allowing the participant to praise themselves and come up with their own inward, wow, I did a good job. She noticed that I only picked the right papayas, and I was able to differentiate between the ones that weren't ready and the ones that were. Then the second step that the book offers is to describe what you feel. So it's a pleasure to eat orange papayas. It's so delightful to know that these papayas still have time to ripen. And then again, the word, you are so I'm just looking here. What I do want to avoid is the you are so. So it's more like we reference what has happened. So again, we describe the situation, and we want to stick with the I statement. So a fun way to say it would be, that's what I call discernment. That's what I call being careful. That's what I call organization. That's what's called tidiness. So again, the theme that we want to go with in all of these chapters is really just sticking to the point and the I statements. So this chapter is pretty quick. It's, like I said, I think one of the most powerful tools that we can have is praising, and how beneficial it is that as we are able to look a little bit closer at what is really remarkable, that not just our participants, but our friends, right? This is something that has overflowed into my whole life. And I notice it when people do it to me, and it feels so good. I think one of my favorite examples where I like to practice this is I love the arts. So in poetry or in looking at a painting, right? It's think about like this fun journey of dissecting it and really honing in on what allows it to be so extravagant. And you would first do that by saying, I notice the artist has a gentle brushstroke here, and as the ocean meets the sand, there's a softness in his stroke, describing. And it makes me feel so at peace and so calming as the brushstroke just gently bellows out at the bottom of the painting. That's what I call finesse. And that's praising. So I think with that, I'll close in saying that let's praise the same way we would admire artwork. And how beautiful is that to see the world and everything everybody does as a piece of artwork, and give them that, share them that, share with them that, share with them that what they are doing is art. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, I love feedback. Please share with me. I trust that you will do so with the I statements and describing what you see. And if you have praise, I hope to hear specifics and praise me like you would a piece of artwork. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday at 10 a.m. I really enjoyed talking with all of you guys. I left feeling so charged and motivated for my day after our last Friday session. So I look forward to seeing all of you then, and make it a great week. Bye guys. Aloha.